Seem nothing even matters. Seem nothing even.
Peace and blessings, family, and welcome back to A Queen's Crown. If this is your first time tuning in, thank you and welcome. Today's video, we are going to talk about the definitions of the terms that I use in most of my videos. While doing so, I'm going to do my hair in a hairstyle that you can use whether your hair is short, long, or medium length. But before we get into it, if you are not following A Queen's Crown on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, or TikTok, please make sure you do so. Also hit that share button, the thumbs up, and the notification bell so that you can receive notifications every time A Queen's Crown goes live, posts, or shares. Let's get right into it, family. What are Sisterlocks? Okay, family, I had no idea what Sisterlocks were when I first heard the term. So Sisterlocks are a smaller lock, smaller than traditional locks, and they are weaved or interlocked into your hair with a patent Sisterlock tool. The patent Sisterlock tool cannot be found in stores or on Amazon. It is covered under the Sisterlock trademark, so you do have to be a certified or a trainee loctician in order to receive the patent Sisterlock tool. What is a consultation? The consultation is the time that you set up to meet with your loctician or the consultant to set up your plan and your time, your cost for your establishment. What is a grid? The grid is what we use as a guide to establish your crown. Queen alert. Now we're going to pause on the definitions for a moment. What you're going to do is you're going to part your hair down the middle. I don't use a mirror, so my middle part may not be as straight, but if you want your hair or your middle part really straight, just use a mirror and part your hair down the middle. Sometimes if it's retie time, you may have to kind of feel through your hair a little bit just because it may kind of be tangled or just need to be pulled through a little bit, but work your fingers through. You're going to part your hair from side to side, behind the ear, and then you're going to go all the way over to the other side and do the same thing. Again, if you want your part very straight, then use a mirror. And then once you have that hair parted on both sides, you can use your fingers to kind of feel it to make sure that it's as straight as you like. Take the hair in the back and you're just going to move it out the way. So you can either wrap it up with your locks or you can use a ponytail holder. I'm going to use a ponytail holder just because I want to pull it all back and make sure no other locks kind of slip in when I'm trying to twist the other side. You're going to take your hair and just take one side, it doesn't matter which side you use, and you're going to pull that hair up into a ponytail. Use your hair to wrap it around or take a ponytail holder and wrap it around so that that hair is out the way as well. All right, family, we're going to get right back into the video and then we'll continue our hair in just a moment. What is banding? Banding is taking a group of locks, maybe 5 to 8, even 10 locks, and you're going to take them all the way down to the end. You're going to wrap that hair, so pretty much like this. Bring it over, wrap it, take a rubber band, band it around. That is banding. What is bunching? Bunching is when the hair or the lock begins to unravel and bud at the same time. Bunching and budding are two different things. This is an example here of a bunching lock that I've worked through, but still you can see where it's knotted and bunched at the same time. Bunching is not good, budding is good. If your hair is bunching, please point it out to your loctician if they have not noticed it. If your hair is budding, you may feel the little knots at the end, wondering what that is. That is budding. When your lock begins to bud, that is the beginning stage of it locking. The budding stage can also be known as the sprouting stage. Sometimes you will hear that term. Sprouting stage and budding stage are the exact same stage. The next thing is splitting. You may hear your loctician say she wants to split your locks. Splitting your locks basically is the method we use to take the lock that is one and make it into two. That process is done over a few months period of time. sometimes even over a year's time, just depending on when that loctician decides to actually split the lock. When the lock is being split, it is not retied, but the consultant does use a method to continue to tighten it while it is still going through its splitting stage. So you don't have to worry about having this lock that is not retightened with all the rest of your hair being freshly retied. Queen alert. What is combining? Combining your locks is taking 2 or more locks and putting them together. Typically, you will see a loctician combine your locks when one lock is weak and you are trying to strengthen it. Sometimes, if you notice in your hair, you may have one lock that is very thin or thinner than the rest of them. A loctician may combine it just to make it the same size or to make it look as uniform as the rest of your locks. Density. What is density? There's 3 types of density: high, medium, and low. Density basically determines if your hair is thick or full. A lot of times you'll hear people say, oh, her hair is very thick, her hair is very thin. Typically, if you have low density hair, you have thin hair. Medium density is going to be about my type of hair, not really thin, but not really thick. And high density hair is going to be what we call typically thick hair. Buildup. What is buildup? Buildup is just product or elements stuck in your hair. You can't take something and just kind of pick it out. You have to pretty much go through a process of detoxing your locks in order to get buildup. Buildup can be caused by product, not wrapping up your hair, tying it up at night, lint, etc., etc. We're going to pause here and I'm going to continue my hair. Make sure the hair is smooth and then parted along the side. Because there will be 2 twists, you just want to make the hair as even as possible. And then you're going to part it to where the part is in the back. And then move the hair around, pull your fingers through just to make sure it's smooth. And pull the other hair out the way so that you can twist this hair. You're going to begin twisting the hair and you're going to go straight back. And again, if you want to braid, you can braid it. I do the twist just because the twist is quicker, but you can either twist it or braid it. This is another good style during the frizzy stage so that you can help eliminate some of the frizz. You're going to twist that all the way back, and once you get it twisted back, you're going to use either a rubber band to hold it, or if your hair is long enough, you're just going to take one of your locks and you're going to wrap it around the twist. That will hold the twist in place until you get ready to put the ponytail in your hair. Once you have that twisted and secured, you're going to go to the side and you're going to twist this hair up. Comb through it to make sure that it's smooth. Once you begin twisting, remember to be very careful around those edges. You want to make sure that you go very slow. You don't want to put a lot of tension, a lot of pressure. You don't want to pull on them too much, so just be very gentle, especially if your edges are very fragile. You're going to go all the way around to the side, and you're just going to take that twist to meet where the part is in the back. Use a rubber band to hold it or use your lock to hold it. All right, we are going to get back into the video and I'll continue my hair in just a moment. Let's take a moment and talk about hands and hair syndrome. I know it sounds funny, but believe it or not, it is actually true. It is a true syndrome. If before being crowned, being a loose natural, you may have done this, but being a loose natural, you may have not. But once I got locked, I noticed that I typically would keep my hands in my hair, just feeling, sometimes the new growth or just playing with my locks, which I think sometimes it can be a habit or sometimes a nervous thing, just many reasons why people put their hands in their hair. When you are first and newly established, putting your hands in your hair can be detrimental just because it can cause a lot of bad things to happen to your locks. For example, the moisture from our hands or the oils on our hands can cause our hair to unravel. Sometimes it can cause it to mat, or sometimes it can cause it to queen alert. Combine. They can come undone. So playing in your hair a lot when you're first established is not a good idea. If you notice that you're putting your hands in your hair a lot, try to be mindful of it. Hands and hair syndrome can cause other things like buildup, lint. Sometimes we have things on our hands that we don't even realize is on there, and then you put your hands in your hair, now it's in your hair. So you just want to be careful with the hands and hair syndrome. Try your hardest. Once your hair is locked, it's the same thing. You don't want to keep your hands in your hair as much, although the risk of it unraveling or coming out, the chances are less. But still, you still have things on your hands that you don't want to transfer from your hands to your hair. What is matting? Matting is when your hair sticks together. It can be tangled together, and once your hair mat, it is very hard to get it apart. Sometimes it even has to be cut out, cut apart. Matting is not good, so be very careful with matting and making sure that your locks are not sticking together. So now at this point, I'll do the other side of my hair, and then we'll continue with the definitions. So at this point, we're going to take that side out. If you had it in a ponytail, or if you used your hair to wrap around, take that out. Part your hair on the side. You're pretty much going to do the exact same thing you did on the other side. Make the hair as even as possible because there's just going to be 2 twists on the side. And then once you have that part done, you're going to take that hair that's on the side and just move it out the way so that that hair is not mixed in with the hair you're getting ready to twist. Make that twist pretty much in the same direction that you do the other one. So if you do the first one straight back, do the same with this one. If you kind of do it to the side, do the same with this one so that they're similar. Again, if you want to braid it, you can do so. Braiding and twisting are going to give you the exact same result, just 2 different looks because one is braided and one is twisted. You're going to take that twist all the way back to where the part is. And again, you're just going to repeat the steps. If you have rubber bands or your hair isn't long enough to wrap around, you're going to take a rubber band and you're going to wrap it so that you can hold that twist. And then you're going to go to the side, take that side, and you're going to twist that up as well. Again, being very, very careful on those edges. You want to go very slow, be very cautious. You don't want to pull on them or put too much tension. But then you're going to also twist that hair all the way around to the back, and it's going to meet where that part is in the back. Once you finish twisting that hair up, again, take a rubber band and you're going to wrap your rubber band on that twist. Keep in mind, if your hair is long enough that you don't have to wrap it up in a twist or use a rubber band, you don't have to. Once you do that, grab all that hair and you're going to put it up into one ponytail. Grab your ponytail holder and you're going to wrap your hair in. Now, for this particular style, I don't use my hair to wrap it because I need the ponytail holder to sit and make the bun. If your hair is short, then this will be a puff ball. Let's get back into the video. Textures. A lot of times you'll hear your consultant say, you know, your textured hair is this, or you have multiple textured hair. It's just when the density is different in different places of your hair. As I mentioned earlier, density can be high, medium, or low. So you may have high or low density in one part of your hair, medium and high density in another part of your hair. During the time that you may hear the term texture is when the loctician is trying to determine the size of the lock that they may be putting in your hair when they do the establishment. Patterns. Now you'll hear people say patterns, or you'll hear locticians say, I'm doing this pattern. You may hear someone say, what pattern does your loctician use? The pattern is not necessarily something that you have to know, but if it's something that you want to know, that is completely up to you. The normal patterns or the typical patterns that you will find that a loctician uses or that you hear is 3 or 4. Those numbers won't mean anything necessarily to you, but to the consultant, they understand what that 3 and 4 pattern is. The frizzy stage. Typically you'll find the frizzy stage, or what we call the frizzy stage, happening in the midst of your locks locking. When your locks are trying to settle, when it's trying to find its place, you'll notice that a lot of times you're going through a frizzy stage, or when the humidity hits it, you'll see it kind of like frizz up. Queen alert. The settling stage is when your locks are locking. It's pretty much when you're going through the phase of that lock doing just what it sounds like, settling into its place, settling where it's going to be, settling how it's going to sit on our crown, and that is the settling stage. And then the last definition that you may hear is either welcome home to Sisterlocks, welcome home to being crowned, your establishment is done, you're all installed, whatever the loctician uses at the end. What I always say is welcome home to Sisterlocks, and that is when your crown has been established and you now have Sisterlocks. At this point, we're going to finish the hairstyle. Remove my glasses. As you can see, I have the bun sitting at the top. If your hair is shorter, this will not be in a bun. It will just be out and loose. That is the reason why we pull it to the middle of our hair, because this is where, depending on how long or how short your hair is, you can still pull it into a ponytail. That ponytail holder that I had in the back, we're going to take out. You're going to let your hair hang down. And again, if your hair is long, if your hair is short, you can use this style because your hair will hang down in the back, and whatever length it is, that's how it will sit. So I came out here to the Sun family so that I can show you my hair in the full circle with the light shining. And I like this hairstyle because it's a quick go-to style. It may not be as quick as throwing it up in a ponytail, but it just only takes a few moments to do. So I hope you all enjoyed this hairstyle as well. And that is it for the hairstyle. That is all that I have for you today, family. I hope these definitions help. Remember, if you are not subscribed to A Queen's Crown, make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok. Also, make sure you hit that thumbs up, the share button, and the notification bell so that you can receive notifications every time A Queen's Crown goes live, post, or share. I'll see you in the next video. Amani na upendo, family.
It's the vibe for me, it's your vibe for me. Do you see me out there vibing freely?